What if I told you Earth has been beta testing the code of life for 4.5 billion years? From tiny microbes to towering dinosaurs to modern-day TikTok teens, every upgrade took its shot at ruling Earth. But did humans actually win? And here's the plot twist. These OS updates weren't smooth. Earth blue-screened not once, not twice, but 5 times. We're not talking about gradual change. We're talking about cosmic-scale delete commands that turned thriving ecosystems into graveyards overnight. So, let's buckle up. Today, we'll time travel through the Big 5 extinction crashes to uncover what really went down. Let's start from the beginning. About 3.8 billion years ago, Earth launched its first release, a single line of code that set everything in motion. Iteration 1, Bacteria OS. Our story kicks off with a massive planetary-scale hard drive setup. The early Earth, hot, violent, not exactly optimal for life. For the first 700 million years, totally inhospitable. Acid rain, volcanic tantrums, constant asteroid pop-ups, not exactly life-friendly. But then, a tiny, self-replicating algorithm emerged. Bacteria OS, version 1.0. These weren't your typical crash-prone apps. They were simple, elegant, brutally efficient. Prokaryotes, no fancy organelles, just raw, unstoppable processing power. They invented breathing, photosynthesis, and probably the first decentralized network without ever needing a Wi-Fi password or complaining about latency. They replicated, adapted, and outlasted extinction-level updates like solar flares, ice ages, and the invention of Twitter. Over the next 2 billion years, Bacteria.os dominated the server room. No multicellular drama, no bureaucracy, no predators, no taxes, no meetings, just divide, conquer, and occasionally photosynthesize. They were the OG influencers. Went viral before viruses were even invented. Iteration 2, the great upgrades and program crashes. But even the most robust systems hit critical errors. Earth's history isn't a smooth upgrade path. It's a series of catastrophic crashes and desperate reboots. These aren't just bad days. These are mass extinction events. The end Ordovician extinction. Imagine Earth freezing over twice. When the supercontinent Gondwana drifted down to the South Pole, massive ice caps formed. Sea levels fell by over 100 meters, exposing huge stretches of seafloor. The oceans lost oxygen, and whole ecosystems suffocated. This two-punch disaster wiped out about 86% of all species, mostly marine life. Trilobites, the bug-eyed icons of early seas, were devastated. Graptolites, strange little colonial floaters, nearly disappeared. Even tough brachiopods, the ancient clam lookalikes, barely hung on. The few survivors were tiny jawless fish and hardy mollusks. Coral reefs collapsed so badly that it took millions of years before they could reboot any kind of ecosystem. The late Devonian extinction. Plants went viral, in a bad way. Scientists blame rapidly growing land plants stripping nutrients from the soil, causing algal blooms that sucked oxygen out of the oceans. Earth choked on its own innovation, like installing too many Chrome extensions and wondering why your system crashed. Another 75% of species wiped, especially armored fish, placoderms, and coral ecosystems. Recovery was painfully slow. Reefs didn't fully bounce back for 100 million years. The Permian-Triassic extinction, the Great Dying. This isn't just a crash, it's a total system meltdown. Volcanic eruptions in Siberia spewed so much carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide that it literally cooked the planet. Oceans turned acidic, oxygen levels plummeted. 96% of all marine species and 70% of land vertebrate species wiped out. If you were alive then, your chance of survival was less than getting a stable Wi-Fi connection in a coffee shop. Humanity almost became a future museum exhibit before we even evolved. This was the closest Earth came to being a barren rock again. It took Earth over 10 million years to recover, the longest reboot in history. The extinction was so brutal, it nearly erased the ancestors of mammals, leaving only a few scrappy species to carry the code forward. The Triassic-Jurassic extinction. The planet's climate flipped again, with massive volcanic activity releasing CO2 and making oceans acidic. This cleared the way, mostly, for the reptiles to dominate. Another 80% of species gone, especially large amphibians and early reptiles. But every crash is a setup for a reboot. This one cleared the way for a little upgrade package called Dinosaurs.x. With rivals gone, dinosaurs took over almost every ecosystem on land, evolving into the giant predators and long-necked titans that would rule for the next 165 million years. Iteration 3, the big-budget Dinosaur.exe disaster. From the tank-like Triceratops to the leaf-munching Brachiosaurus to the blood-soaked legend known as Tyrannosaurus Rex, this was the age of scale, roar, and dominance. But then, 66 million years ago, a giant rock from space 10 kilometers wide hit the Yucatan Peninsula. The Earth didn't just crash, it blue-screened. The impact? Earthquakes, tsunamis, supervolcanoes, and then silence. But the real killer? A planet-wide sunless winter. Ash clouds wrapped the Earth. Photosynthesis stopped, temperatures dropped, plants died. Then herbivores. Then carnivores. 76% of life wiped out. Dinosaurs unplugged. Iteration 4, Mammals.dll and humanity's reign. When Dinosaurs.exe crashed, Earth didn't rage quit, it rebooted with mammals. They sharpened senses, hacked survival with teamwork, and outsmarted predators. After millions of rewrites, evolution pushed out a radical update. The first ancestors of humanity. We are the sentient patch notes of Earth's code. The species that invented fire, rockets, stock markets, and reality TV. From cave paintings to neural networks, we've sprinted further than any species before us. But here's the catch. We didn't just level up, we started rewriting the system. And with it came bugs, climate collapse, nuclear weapons, mass extinction. Here is the timeline twist. If Earth's history were a single 24-hour day, life shows up at 4:30 in the morning. Dinosaurs rule your late-night snacks at 10:45 p.m. And humans? We appear at 11:59:59. 1 single second on the clock. That's our entire story. So, who really owns the crown of creation? Not us, not the dinosaurs. The undefeated champions are bacteria. 5 mass extinctions, 0 defeats. In the grand code of life, bacteria is like Linux in the age of AI. And here's the chilling part. Scientists warn the 6th mass extinction has already begun. Species are disappearing 100 times faster than normal. Earth will reboot again. The only question is, will we survive the next crash? This was Earth's past. The future is World War III. Subscribe and witness the 6th mass extinction unfold in our next chapter.